Nice to see
Cheers.
you.
Nice to see you, Mark.
Congratulations on this.
Thank you very much.
You're one of the most badass directors I've ever known. I'm your biggest fan. I wouldn't think you would be the first to step in line to this, and now I can't imagine anybody but you directing this movie.
Well, that's nice to hear. My motivation was really to keep my family happy. That was the principal agenda that I had. All my kids are big Disney fans, and my wife is a big Disney file too. So it was a combination of trying to keep my family happy, and I felt comfortable enough in the genre of street hustlers.
Right.
So to combine those two worlds felt like the next step in my directorial challenges.
Now, when you start to think about casting this movie, you know, you're dancing on hallowed ground. So I know it's probably one of the most arduous castings you've ever had.
Yeah, it was 5 continents and about a year, I think, to try and find Jasmine and Aladdin. Will was much easier because I was pretty confident that he was going to be my genie from the off.
Sure.
So Will was. These things are never easy, incidentally. In terms of actually making things manifest, you can't believe how complicated it is to make a film. But Will was always my principal choice. And then it was a question of trying to find an Aladdin and a Jasmine that had the right chemistry. And that was no easy feat either.
So you talk about how complicated it is to make a film. You've done every variety on just about every budget too. So what was the curve this threw you?
It's a funny thing. Budgets don't intimidate me. And I'm not sure if they intimidate other filmmakers, actually. With budget, you know, in the end, some clever person just told me there's zeros are ultimately just zeros because they amount to zero.
Right.
So really, you're just upping the size of the canvas. But the truth is, it's no more difficult to make an expensive film. Well, it's actually often much more challenging to make a film on a smaller budget. But yeah, I've had the sort of whole range of budgets from little to large. Mm-hmm. This was somewhere in the larger region, but it doesn't really provide more of a challenge.
What from Lock, Stock would you say you learned that directly adapts to this movie?
I think there is a correlation. It's very hard to be objective about your own work, of course, but the thing about Lock, Stock is that Lock, Stock was it was a film made by hustlers about hustlers, and the correlation, of course, is Aladdin as a hustler. So in that sense, that was really the porthole that invited me into this particular film.
You know, I've never pulled an unprepared question out of thin air that got a better, more cool response than that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, actually, to be fair, I hadn't actually thought about it before, other than the fact that I was familiar with that ground.
Do you have a favorite scene? I know it's like having you pick your favorite child, but do you have a favorite scene in the movie?
Well, I have the memory of a goldfish, so inevitably what happens is the last thing I see, which is my favourite scene. So it was probably the dance sequence at the end, which, you know, was the last thing we shot, and it's the last thing I see, and it leaves me with a smile on my face. So I'll probably be prejudiced towards that.
Guy Ritchie, I'm not blowing smoke at you. You've created a new instant classic. It was a joy to watch.
Thank you very much.
Good
indeed.
to see you, pal.
Nice to see you too.
Hey, did you like that? There's more where that came from. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Remember, every time the bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Are they mocking me? They're mocking me, aren't they? Yeah, just watch some videos over there. And y'all shut up.